Everybody who plays games has a mechanic that they hate that somehow makes its way into these games. For some people, it's RPG elements forced into a multiplayer shooter. For someone else, it could be Assassin's Creed's hundreds of collectibles per game. And someone else probably hates the forced player versus player of being invaded in Dark Souls. Everybody's got one. You've got one, my friends have one, and I have one. And mine is stuns. Now wait, before you click off this video, hear me out. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. From World of Warcraft to Smite, then back to WoW, then to Heroes of the Storm, then back to WoW again. Yes, I have a problem, and more recently, Battleborn and Overwatch, the stun is a mechanic that I've never been able to enjoy. In games that are strictly cooperative or single player, I don't have a problem with them since they can be used as a way to drive tactical choice and a helpful tool in overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. But in competitive multiplayer games, it becomes a completely different story. Now don't get me wrong, stunning the right person at the right time in competitive multiplayer can be just as tactical and strategic as it is in cooperative or single player games, but I think that stuns are probably the most anti-fun mechanic that plagues multiplayer games today. Here's my problem. Stuns in general have very little counterplay involved with them outside of just don't get stunned. While some games give you more of an opportunity than others to avoid the effect, it's going to happen to you at some point no matter how diligent you are. And because this mechanic completely stops you from doing anything for the duration, you're stuck as you watch your enemies flee or kill your friends or unload insane amounts of damage on you with no chance for you to react or retaliate. Or worse, stun you again for even more downtime. And because many games with this mechanic are built around team play, being stunned multiple times in succession happens quite a lot. Whole team compositions are built around stunning enemy players over and over again so that the victim can't do anything until he's dead. Facing teams like this is little more than an exercise in frustration for the victims, and even if you rally together to beat that team, it's not a fun victory. The issue here is that, with the exception of certain high cooldown items in some of these games, you can't do anything. You're stuck, helpless, unable to even try to do whatever you need to do. You just gotta sit there and wait. It's almost like when you're watching a YouTube video and it suddenly starts buffering in the middle of a sentence. In fact, the only counterplay that I know of is just hoping that your teammates are there to stop the enemy team from doing whatever they want to you. Now, look, I don't have anything against crowd control in general. I find that it's necessary that these games have some sort of way to alter the battlefield to help protect allies or hinder foes, but I feel like there are so many more creative ways to implement it. Just off the top of my head, we have knockbacks, pulls, slows, walls, leashes, silences, knockups, and roots, just to name a few. But what all these have in common is that none of them make you completely helpless. Each one allows you to continue to act so you can throw out a crowd control ability of your own, or even attempt to kill your assailant before he kills you, or even better, get punished yourself for using the wrong crowd control ability at the wrong time. And I think all of these things can help create a much more dynamic and fun battleground for everyone involved. As long as these effects don't use stun as an intermediate effect to make the main effect go off, such as many of the pull characters' hooks in many of these games, I think they're fine. Just let the player continue to act. But even if we were to completely get rid of stun effects, I can't help but wonder if something else will become the new stun for me. After all, unless we get rid of crowd control entirely, there will always be teams who stack the effects in clever and frustrating ways. But I think that allowing the victim to continue to act and retaliate can help mitigate a lot of the frustration. And just to make things clear, I'm grouping mesmerize effects under this umbrella too, because those are pretty much just stuns that break on damage. Really, just about anything that causes complete loss of control of your character in this way is something that I'm against. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm in the minority with this opinion, but I wanted to share it anyway. What do you think? Do you love or hate stuns? What mechanic do you hate as much as I hate stuns? I know you have one. Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this from me in the future, and I will see you next time.